Old Scratch. A ticking clock over a black screen. Fade in. Ornate clock face. The time is 5:59. A second hand moves slowly, its steady ticks gradually replaced by the sound of footfalls. Black dress shoes, shine to perfection, walk with purpose on a polished marble floor. They pick up speed until they are in a dead sprint. Ornate clock face strikes 6 o'clock. Ominous bells announce the hour. Black dress shoes running suddenly slide to a halt in interior, corporate office building, lobby, morning. It's huge, gaudy, and ostentatious. Donald Trump's interior decorator's wet dream. It also is packed with employees, all dressed smartly and busy making last-minute preparations. The owner of the black dress shoes, a greasy, long-haired newbie, stares in awe. He's never seen anything like it.
You're late.
Megoth, a diminutive man with a monocle and a clipboard, appears from out of nowhere and sizes up the newbie.
Sorry, this place is so big.
A little overwhelming for you?
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. You're new, so we'll start with coffee. Think you can handle that?
He hands newbie a cup of coffee.
Thank you.
It's not for you, numbnuts. All right, you morons!
Megoth takes out a pocket watch and checks it against a large ornate wall clock, 6:06.
6 seconds, look alive!
Employees quickly line up on the opposite sides of a red carpet and stare in anticipation at a set of lobby doors.
4, 3, 2...
The lobby doors burst open, revealing a black void. From the darkness, he appears. Old Scratch, 45, the boss. He's sharply dressed, graceful, and devilishly handsome. Despite a dazzling smile, he carries an air of danger and volatility. Newbie is a jumble of nerves as Scratch approaches.
Coffee, sir?
He extends the cup, his hand trembling uncontrollably. Coffee sloshes everywhere, spilling onto Scratch's wingtip shoes. Megoth quickly takes the cup and pushes Newbie aside. He snaps for employees who immediately clean up the mess. Megoth hands the cup to Scratch, who takes a sip. It's empty.
New prospects?
Megoth hands Scratch the clipboard, who gives it a quick read.
This is it? This is the best you can do? 2 first-round draft picks and a housewife from Florida?
The employees hang their heads.
She's on that competitive baking show that you like, the one with the cakes.
Scratch's face lights up.
Ooh, nice work. Schedule her first...
excuse me, sir.
Scratch cocks his eyebrow and slowly turns around. You couldn't cut the tension with a chainsaw.
Yes?
I want to apologize for the coffee.
Scratch flashes a wicked grin. He places his hands menacingly on Newbie's shoulders.
That's quite all right. We all make mistakes. As long as we learn from them, right?
Newbie breathes a sigh of relief.
Burn this guy.
Right away, sir.
Megoth summons an overweight guard who drags Newbie away.
Wait, you mean fire me, right? Fire.
Scratch heads towards a bank of elevators.
Oh, there'll be plenty of that, kiddo. I want those numbers up, people!
God, I love that man.
Interior, corporate office building, elevator, moments later. Minos, a stocky elevator operator with a large serpent tattoo on his neck, works the controls. The doors open and Scratch steps on, followed by Geraldine, 20s, an extremely fit female executive.
Minos, my man, how's it hanging?
Sir, Miss Geraldine.
Geraldine smiles back warmly as the doors close. Scratch scopes out Geraldine's legs and whispers in her ear. She recoils in disgust.
Or he could join. I'm open to that.
You know, just once I would like to get in this elevator and not be sexually harassed by you.
Oh, where's the fun in that?
You're my boss, and you have a girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend. Lilith called it off last night when she caught me in on an orgy with the twins from accounting. Which is strange, because she's normally into that kind of thing.
Are you trying to make me throw up?
Well, that's not really my thing, Jerry. I'm more traditional kink. Rings, plugs, and the occasional golden...
The elevator stops and the doors open.
8th floor, fraud department.
I'm going to 10, actually. Big board meeting.
Minos nods and the elevator doors close.
I wasn't notified about any meeting.
Huh.
Scratch pushes out a silent fart and smiles a devilish grin. Interior, corporate office building, 10th floor. The elevator doors open. Geraldine pushes out past Minos, trying not to gag.
It's a perfectly natural function.
Lilith, 30s, a high-heeled, high-powered, highly sexed badass, makes a beeline towards Scratch.
Hey, Lilith.
Hey, asshole.
Wow, professionalism.
After last night, Scratch, you're lucky I don't set your nuts on fire and shove them down your throat.
Well, that's more like it.
She grabs his shoulders and speaks with hushed urgency.
We need to go home now.
Wow, you turn on a dime.
That will be a cold day in hell.
Megoth appears, sweaty and out of breath.
Sir, I had no idea this was happening.
What was happening? Why are you all wet? You look disgusting.
Thank you, sir.
That's not a compliment.
Sir, you need to get out of...
Mara, 39, an intense and overly aggressive woman with a chip on her shoulder and a clear distaste for Scratch, interrupts.
Scratch boardroom now.
I tried to warn you.
Scratch follows, leaving Megoth pacing nervously in the hall. Interior corporate office building, boardroom moments later. Mara leads Scratch and Lilith into a glass-walled room filled with board members who all share the same dour expression.
Somebody die?
Mara stands at the head of a large table. Her sycophantic toady, Carl, sidles up next to her, puffing on a vape pen.
Not yet. Take a seat.
I can't, Mara. You're in my spot.
So I am. Which reminds me, you're fired. Turn over the key.
Carl flashes a shit-eating grin. Geraldine quietly claps.
You can't fire me. I'm your boss. Besides, you need a 2/3 majority.
Scratch looks around the room. Their faces say it all.
All of you?
All but one.
Is this because I laughed at the HR memo regarding gender fluids in the workplace?
That's gender fluidity and no, although Sarah was a little upset.
Sarah, a large muscular Hispanic man wearing a mustache and a pantsuit, gives Scratch the stink eye.
It's because you're unfit and a moron. You've been for a while.
A moron or unfit? Because the way you said it could be either.
Both. You're a clown.
I'm awesome! I saved all of your jobs. I finally made this a fun place to work. I'm about to sign a pastry chef, for Christ's sake.
The board members grasp.
Sorry for the language, but imagine the shit she'd bring to our break room.
Playtime is over, Scratch. We need more aggressive leadership.
Leadership? You're nothing but a bully.
Guess I'm in the right line of work.
You elected me to get rid of power-hungry demons like her. If you let this happen, then everything we stand for as an entity is gone.
Mara smiles smugly and opens her hand.
The key. Now.
2 guards enter and flank Scratch.
You mean this key?
Scratch pulls out an ancient key attached to his necklace. It glows slightly. Mara is entranced.
Give it to me.
Scratch casually slides it back into his shirt.
Go fuck yourself.
Lilith smiles. The guards quickly restrain Scratch. A sudden, loud slam against the outer wall diverts their attention. It's Megoth, his hands pressed against the glass.
Boss! Run!
Scratch takes advantage of the distraction. He breaks free of the guards, pushes his way into the hallway, and escapes through an emergency exit. Interior, corporate office building, lobby, moments later. Scratch barrels through the stairwell door. The guards close behind. Sirens blare as red lights fill the lobby. Employees wander around confused.
Emergency shutdown activated. Securing perimeter doors.
A steel gate slowly descends over the lobby doors. Scratch races for the exit and the darkness beyond. The guards leap. Scratch slides and makes it just in time. Interior, house, bedroom, morning. Blinding white light fills the room. Birds chirp. Scratch moans as he squints his eyes. He lays on a mattress, dressed in pajamas and a robe. With one eye open, he surveys his surroundings. On his chest is an open manual. Welcome to protective custody. His night is slowly coming back to him.
Oh, shit.
The chirping gets louder, exacerbating the pain in his head. Scratch grabs a nearly empty whiskey bottle from a nightstand covered in beer cans and hurls it through a closed window.
Shut up!
Ouch!
Scratch lumbers over to the window and looks down onto a manicured flower bed. In the flower bed is a neighbor wearing Bermuda shorts and flip-up sunglasses. He holds the whiskey bottle and rubs his head. He looks up and notices Scratch.
Howdy, neighbor. You dropped this? Looks like there's some left. Want it back?
Scratch stares at the man through the shattered window.
I'll just go ahead and recycle it for you. Have a blessed day.
Scratch slowly retreats inside. Living room. Scratch shuffles past empty liquor bottles and a handful of moving boxes labeled shit and more shit. Kitchen. Scratch rummages through a box marked kitchen shit. He empties its contents on a counter. His search is uneventful. Entryway. Scratch opens his front door and steps outside. Exterior. Scratch's house, porch, morning. Scratch scans the neighborhood. It's pristine and beautiful. People jog, walk dogs, wave to each other. It's idyllic.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He heads off down the street, not bothering to close his door. Series of shots. Scratch walking through neighborhood. A. Scratch walks past a little girl with a lemonade stand. Her sign reads 25 cents. B. Scratch walks past 3 firefighters saving a kitten in a tree while a chubby boy and a nervous mother look on. C. Scratch walks past an ice cream truck selling treats to a line of patient children. D. Scratch enters a mom-and-pop hardware store. The bell above the door rings. Interior hardware store, day. A handful of customers who look like they all stepped out of a Land's End catalog stand in line. Behind the counter is Rebecca, 17, dressed in black with goth-style makeup. The town curiosity, she's used to the sideway glances. Scratch shuffles past, a man in his pajamas on a mission. Rebecca is immediately intrigued. Crashes and bangs echoes from the back of the store. A moment later, Scratch pushes his way to the front of the line with a length of rope and a dining room chair. An uppity old woman refuses to budge.
Excuse me, but I was next.
Scratch grabs the doggy chew toy in her hand and tosses it down the aisle. She goes after it. Rebecca stifles a laugh and rings up Scratch with a smile.
That's $32.50.
Scratch throws down a $50 bill.
Keep the change. I like this, by the way. Looks good.
She's taken aback. He leaves.
Thanks.
Series of shots, Scratch walking back through the neighborhood. A, Scratch exits the hardware store dragging the rope and the chair behind him. B, Scratch walks past the ice cream truck. C, Scratch walks back past the fireman. D, Scratch walks back past the lemonade stand. Exterior, Scratch's house. Porch, day. As Scratch walks up to his house, he notices Gladys, 45, the town's Joan Cleaver, peeking in through his front door while her asswipe of a son, Brant, 16, karate chops the heads of agapanthus flower buds in the front yard.
Oh, hello.
Gladys, with a pep in her step, comes down to greet Scratch. She carries a plate of cookies in the shape of crucifixes.
Sorry for being such a nosy Nellie.
She laughs and lets out a little snort.
The front door was open. My name is Gladys Peppermill. I'm with the church auxiliary. This is my son, Brant. Brant, say hello to our new neighbor.
Brant doesn't look up from destroying the flowers.
Brant!
Gladys violently grabs Brant by the ear.
Ow.
Scratch.
Hello?
Scratch sizes them up.
Fuck off.
He grabs a cookie and continues into his house.
Well, I never. That was extremely rude. You son of a bitch!
Brant smiles. Gladys quickly regains her composure.
We're all God's children.
Scratch drops the chair off inside and returns tying the rope in a knot. Gladys stiffens as he approaches.
That was very unkind of you, sir. My beautiful son and I
Brant picks his nose.
just wanted to do the Christian thing and welcome you to the...
Scratch slaps a plate of cookies out of her hand and walks back inside.
You, sir, are a wicked man, but even the wicked can be redeemed. Yes, sir, no one is above redemption, not even the devil himself.
Scratch slams the door. Gladys takes the hint and huffs away, dragging Brant behind her. Interior, Scratch's house, entryway. Scratch finishes tying his knot. It's a noose. He throws the rope around an overhead beam, secures it, and moves the dining room chair into position. He steps onto the chair and casually pulls the rope over his neck. For the first time since he woke up, Scratch smiles. Scratch kicks the chair and the rope goes taut. His feet struggle for just a moment and then go limp. Snap! The rope breaks, and Scratch's body thumps to the floor. A knock at the door pushes it open. Caseworker, 26, stands in the doorway. Clean cut, lean, meticulous, he looks like an FBI agent fresh out of the packaging. His demeanor, however, is kind and overly cheerful. He stares a moment at Scratch's body before...
Oh my. You didn't read your manual, did you? In protective custody, you aren't allowed to commit suicide.
Scratch, very much alive, looks up at Caseworker, dejected.
I'm getting that impression.
Scratch stands and brushes himself off, removing the noose.
It's all there in the terms of agreement.
Yeah, give me the quick version. I'm a little hungover.
That's right. You came to us pretty inebriated last night. I hesitated to admit you, but it's rare that we get a man of your stature.
Scratch stares out the window at the picturesque town.
Just tell me how long I have to stay in this shithole.
That depends on you. The sooner you turn over the key, the sooner we can process the paperwork and move you on. The key is, well, the key.
Scratch makes a move towards his necklace, but hesitates, scratching his chest instead.
Thing is, I don't have it at the moment, but I'll get it over to you first thing tomorrow.
Very well. In the meantime, I suggest you take advantage of the town. There's a lot of super stuff here.
Caseworker pulls out a handful of visitors' brochures.
Poetry workshops, tap water museum.
Isn't there some better place you can put me? I can't hack it here.
You've been here all of 6 hours, and half of that you were asleep.
See? This place is hell, but without all the fun stuff. What about Vegas, huh? Reno? Reno adjacent?
This town was chosen for a reason. It's one of the few places on earth the devil won't bother to look for her old boss. You need a place that's pure and wholesome, and the town of Probity is as wholesome as it gets. Just stay under the radar and you'll be fine.
Scratch looks back out the window. A Boy Scout helps an old lady cross the street.
Oh, this is gonna suck.
Interior, corporate office building, boss's office. Mara stares out a window overlooking a lake of molten lava, listening to Gounod's Faust.
Where are we on finding old Scratch?
Carl puffs on his vape pen.
I have the entire sales force out looking for him, sir. Mum.
Did you just call me Sir Mum?
No, I mean, yes, but only because I'm not quite sure what to call you, sir. I mean, ma'am.
Well, pick one.
Yes, sir. You see, that just feels weird. Like I'm being insulting and not acknowledging your femininity. Not that femininity can't be associated with a sir, or that you're even feminine at all.
Jesus, Carl, I know we created political correctness, but grow a pair.
It's an important movement, ma'am. That doesn't feel right either.
The update?
We can't find him, my lord.
Carl acknowledges that my lord feels meh.
We're in hell, Carl. There aren't many places he can go.
He must have made it to the surface. You want us to keep looking?
Mara sighs sarcastically.
No, stand down. We have more important things to do. Of course I want you to keep looking, you idiot! I need that key. Without it, I can't perform the ceremony, and without the ceremony, I don't get to unleash the Antichrist and destroy mankind. And I want to destroy mankind, Carl, like really bad.
A disruptor. I admire that. Why do you want to destroy mankind again?
We destroy mankind. That means they will have lost. The great experiment, good versus evil, will be over. It'll be our turn to run the sandbox.
But won't we be out of the job?
So we close our doors and lay off a few million demons. Why work when you and I can rule?
Carl's eyes light up at the mention of the possibility.
No more battling free will. No more struggling to corrupt souls to keep the lights on. Just pure, unadulterated wickedness. I'm done playing with their rules and just punishing evil. This is my coming out party. Let's raise hell.
I like your style, boss. Boss, there it is.
Monitor topside closely. Sooner or later, Scratch is going to screw up, and when he does, I'll roast him.
Exterior, traffic intersection, day. Scratch stands at a traffic light, sizing up the town like General Patton.
Take advantage of the town, he says.
Scratch slides on a pair of sunglasses and grins.
With pleasure.
He touches the traffic signal pole. All lights turn green. Cars head straight for one another. Montage. Scratch enjoying himself about town. Movie theater. Scratch carries bubble wrap, a box of tinfoil, and a large bag of chips. He sits behind a young couple and starts snacking loudly. The couple leaves. Yoga class. Scratch smokes a cigarette and downward dog. Movie theater. Scratch sits behind a new couple. He leans in and tells them the end of the movie. The couple leaves. Street. Scratch walks past a row of parking meters. As he passes, they all expire. Movie theater. Scratch sits behind a new couple who are making out. He leans in and just watches. The couple leaves. Supermarket. Scratch slips an unpaid item into the purse of an old lady as she exits. The alarm sounds, and she's abruptly tackled into an outdoor display by a security guard. End montage. Exterior. Supermarket. Day. Scratch exits the supermarket with a grocery cart. He passes the security guard, who pulls the old lady from the display and cuffs her. The Boy Scout objects, but is promptly tasered. Scratch notices something in the distance and lets his cart roll into traffic. Exterior, soccer field, moments later. Scratch approaches a gaggle of cheering soccer moms. They go super sexy slow-mo. He gets an idea. Series of shots. Scratch walking through new neighborhood. A. Scratch passes the little girl's lemonade stand. Her sign now reads $25. She dons sunglasses, greed, and orders 2 bodyguards to rough up a customer, wrath. She waves to Scratch. Scratch gives her a thumbs up. B. Scratch passes the firefighters. One takes a selfie while the cat dangles from a branch, and the chubby boy cries, pride. Another deep kisses the mother, lust, as the last firefighter looks on with envy. Scratch high-fives them all. C. Scratch passes the ice cream truck. Kids lay on the ground surrounded by candy wrappers, too full to move. Sloth, gluttony. Scratch removes the keys from the ignition and tosses them to a red-haired girl in line. Her face lights up. D. Scratch enters the hardware store. As the ice cream truck barrels around the corner, the red-haired girl behind the wheel. The vendor hangs onto the back for dear life. Interior, hardware store, day, continuous. Rebecca is at the counter being hassled by Brandt. His 2 friends pull at him, trying to get him to leave.
No, let go of me. I just want to know if her mom knows what little freak her daughter is.
Dude, her mom's dead, man.
Probably died from looking at her freak little goth face.
Scratch makes eye contact with her as he passes. He can see the pain in her eyes. Her wall is about to come down. The owner of the hardware store, Sergeant Joe, Sarge, 86, a warm, avuncular war veteran, appears wielding a mop handle. It's a sweet gesture, but futile considering his stature.
Is there a problem here?
Brant immediately switches demeanor. Insincerity drips out through a wide Cheshire cat-like smile.
No problem here, sir.
I wasn't asking you.
Rebecca stares daggers at Brant.
No problem, Sarge.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Brant and his friends leave, but linger outside.
You okay, Rebecca? Want to take a break?
No, I'm fine. Thank you, Sarge.
I'll be in the back if you need me.
When Sarge is out of sight, Rebecca breaks down in tears. Scratch wheels a grocery cart of items up to the counter. Christmas lights, steel pipes, a disco ball, and tiki torches. Rebecca pulls herself together and wipes her eyes. Her mascara has started to run.
Ugh, allergies crazy.
I'm allergic to shitheads, too.
Rebecca smiles. It's warm and thoughtful.
I hate this town.
Me too.
Brant slams his hands against the store window and gives Rebecca a cunnilingus hand gesture.
Burn in hell!
If only you caught me a few days ago.
Scratch stares at Brant dancing obnoxiously outside.
Bring this up. I'll be right back.
Rebecca watches, confused and intrigued. Exterior hardware store continuous. Scratch approaches a dancing Brant. His less than amused friends lean up against a pickup truck.
Yo, fuckface.
Brant spins around and stops.
Go back in there and apologize.
Interior hardware store, same. Through the window, Rebecca sees Scratch confront Brant. Scratch smiles and gives her a nod. Exterior hardware store, same. Brant is unfazed.
How about you suck my dick?
Nah, how about you get one of your little buddies there to do it?
Brant squares off, ready to fight.
All right, old man, let's go.
Oh, let's.
Scratch backs up to where he's out of view of Rebecca. Brant rushes Scratch and throws a punch. Scratch effortlessly blocks and pulls him in close. Scratch's eyes flame red. His voice drops octaves lower.
I said apologize.
Brant turns pale. His friends flee.
Yeah, mister, sure.
Interior, hardware store, moments later. Scratch accompanies a trembling Brant to the counter.
Now, what is it you wanted to say to the young lady?
Brant looks at Scratch, terrified, and then wets himself.
Use your words.
I'm sorry.
Good. Now run home to Mom.
Brant turns to bolt but slips and falls in his own mess. He stares hard at Rebecca, tears and anger in his eyes. He scrambles to his feet and pulls himself out the door.
Thank you?
Don't mention it.
Scratch grabs his items and leaves. Rebecca watches as he tosses them into the pickup and hops behind the wheel. He throws her a little salute and peels out.
Hey, that's my truck!
Rebecca smiles and shakes her head. It's then that she notices that Scratch has forgotten his disco ball.
Oh, shoot.
Exterior, Scratch's house, porch, night. Loud muffled music can be heard from inside. Rebecca approaches with the disco ball. Before she can knock, Scratch opens the door wearing a kimono and drinking whiskey. Behind Scratch, in the living room, soccer moms are in various stages of inebriation and undress. Christmas lights twinkle as a bikini-clad mom pole dances to hair metal.
I was wondering where that was. Gertie, catch!
Scratch throws the ball inside to Gertie, an overweight woman having way too much fun. She giggles with glee.
So this is what all that was for?
I gotta do something to entertain myself.
Most people would rent a movie.
Yeah, well, I was going crazy. Idle hands and all. I'd invite you in, but you're a bit young. I'm sure you could handle it, but even I have standards.
Oh, yeah, sure, no judgments. Have fun. I just wanted to drop off the thing and thank you once again for today. I'm Rebecca, by the way.
Scratch. It was my pleasure, Rebecca.
Scratch? That like a nickname?
One of many.
Awkward pause.
Okay, well,
She gives a sheepish wave goodbye and turns to leave, but
it's just, I don't have many friends, or any, except for Sarge, but he's like 90, and I think you're cool, or maybe cool, or I don't know, maybe you're not cool, but you're definitely not like anybody around here, which is good, like really good. I need different.
Sure. Why not?
What?
Friends. Sounds, okay. Never really done that before.
Rebecca smiles.
I gotta get back inside. I'm missing some prime vagina.
Rebecca grimaces. Maybe she made the wrong choice. She hugs him anyway. Scratch awkwardly returns it. Suddenly, the two are bathed in bright light. A siren chirps. Officer Cameron, 45, speaks over his PA system.
This is the police. Step away from the girl and put your hands up.
Rebecca turns around, shielding her eyes from the light.
Dad? Is that you?
Rebecca?
Can you shut that off, please?
The light shuts off and Officer Cameron approaches. He is sturdy and commanding, every bit the police officer.
We got a call about a noise complaint and nudity on the premises.
There is? Am I missing it?
Scratch turns to go back inside.
Just stop right there. 1, is this your residence? And 2, what the hell are you doing here?
1, yes. 2, she was just dropping off party supplies.
Gertie exits the front door with an empty vat of lube.
Scratch, hon. Do you have any more watermelon lube for the wrestling pit? Oh dear, Officer Cameron.
Mrs. Phelps?
Gertie freezes like a deer in headlights. Then,
Fire-o! Scatter!
a deluge of panicked, half-naked soccer moms spills out of the house and into the night. An old lady in a wheelchair has difficulty navigating the stairs. After a beat, Officer Cameron decides to help.
Thank you, dear.
Your...
Eat shit, copper.
She elbows Officer Cameron in the gut and slowly wheels away. He decides against chasing her and turns back to Scratch.
Alright, you're under arrest.
Dad, he didn't do anything.
Rebecca, go wait in the cruiser.
But
I said wait in the cruiser.
Rebecca takes out a phone and starts recording.
What are you doing?
I'm documenting this for social media.
Are you serious? Give me the phone.
Not until you tell me what he did.
Officer Cameron tries to balance between being a father and realizing that he is being recorded.
He was having an orgy, Rebecca.
I missed that too?
Having an orgy isn't against the law.
It is when it's with my 17-year-old daughter. Turn around.
Scratch shrugs and turns around.
That's what you think of me? That I just go and have orgies with strangers?
Your mother would be ashamed if she could see you now.
That was below the belt and he knows it.
Take it.
She throws the phone at him and huffs off towards the cruiser.
Rebecca,
A little harsh there, Kirk.
don't tell me how to speak to my kid. Wait, how do you know my name's Kirk?
Oh, I know a lot more about you than you think.
You have the right to remain silent.
You're not going to want to do that.
And why the hell not?
Scratch leans in close and whispers in his ear.
I know what you did to Thomas Latimer.
Officer Cameron's face drops and goes white. Interior, police cruiser, night. Rebecca fiddles with the radio. Through the passenger window, Officer Cameron can be seen putting his sidearm to his head. Exterior, Scratch's house, porch, same. Officer Cameron stands in a hypnotic trance.
On second thought, why don't we just do your big toe? Less permanent.
Officer Cameron slowly points the gun at his foot. He's about to pull the trigger when caseworker suddenly leaps out of the bushes, waving his arms.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Let's just dial this back a smidge, okay?
Caseworker helps Officer Cameron to holster his gun.
How long have you been in my bushes?
I just got here. Good thing, too. You're okay now, Mr. Cameron.
Officer Cameron snaps out of it. He's not quite sure what just happened, but he knows it wasn't good.
You should go home now.
He nods and walks nervously back to the cruiser.
You have a nice night now, officer!
Scratch and caseworker turn to go inside. Interior, police cruiser, continuous. Officer Cameron slides into the front seat. Rebecca is about to let him have it, but sees that he looks out of sorts.
You okay?
He doesn't answer, just silently puts the car in gear. Interior, Scratch's house, night. Caseworker slams the door closed behind Scratch and locks it. His demeanor is less cordial than before.
What do you think you're doing?
I was just having a little fun.
This is not keeping a low profile.
Says you.
You do realize that every negative action you do, every person you try to corrupt makes you more vulnerable?
I did not know that.
How can you not know that? You ran hell!
Oh, I ran it. Doesn't mean I know how it works.
What do you think happens when a town as nice as this just all of a sudden starts doing bad things?
It becomes a cooler place to live?
It starts showing up on their radar. Soon you got every demon from Asmodeus to Zaragil up here trying to turn souls so they can make their quota for the month.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be bad.
Caseworker pulls out a high-tech looking black box.
What's that?
It's a monitoring device. So far everything's been minor, but since you're having trouble grasping the concept,
Caseworker attaches it to Scratch's ankle and powers it up.
if you do anything creepy, sleazy, disgusting, barbarous, derelict, or destructive, it will go off. If you initiate or actively participate in any of the dark arts, including but not limited to summoning, possession, and or mind manipulation, it will go off. That being said, it works on a sliding scale, so if you say words like,
Shit, piss, fuck?
The anklet beeps. A row of lights blink from green to yellow.
you'll get a warning. If it hits red, however, I'll be alerted and our deal will be off. You'll be on your own. Do you understand?
Scratch studies the anklet.
Dick breath.
The anklet beeps and blinks yellow.
I'll take that as a yes. Of course, if you hand over the key right now, we could leave immediately, and you wouldn't have to worry about giving me an ulcer or Satan finding you and slowly ripping you apart limb from limb for the rest of eternity.
Fantastic. Out of curiosity, where do I go after I hand over the key?
Scratch ushers caseworker to the door and opens it.
Oh, it's great! Everything you could ever want. It's actually a lot like this place, only better.
Scratch nods and closes the door on him.
Motherfuck.
His last word blends in with a very loud beep. Exterior, Rural Street, night, later. Scratch shuffles along carrying a shovel and a paper sack.
Like this place, only better. Fuck that.
The anklet beeps yellow.
Yeah.
Scratch opens a gate labeled Probity Cemetery. Exterior, cemetery, gravesite, night. Scratch arranges lit candles in the shape of the pentagram.
All you gotta do is get your job back. Easy fucking peasy. Just go in there and demand it. You're the A1 DIABLO bitch. You got this.
He glances down at the anklet. It glows orange. He picks up the shovel and stares at it. He's not quite sure about this.
Come on, you pussy.
Beep. Scratch shakes his head.
All right. Here goes nothing.
Scratch raises the shovel and drives it deep into the earth. The anklet blasts forth a shrill beep and glows bright red. Scratch panics and drops his shovel. He blows out candles and scrambles to replace the earth until the beep stops. The porch lights from a house across the street turn on. Exterior, Rebecca's house, porch, same. Rebecca, in sweatpants and a Danzig t-shirt, steps out onto her stoop. She notices a flickering light in the cemetery. Exterior, cemetery, gravesite, moments later. Scratch blows out the last candle and hunkers down behind a tombstone. No caseworker. The anklet, a calm yellow.
Hey there.
Scratch screams.
Ah! Holy it's only fucksticks.
Beep. It takes a second for Scratch to recognize her.
You! Yeah, what are you doing here?
You woke me up. What are you doing here?
Oh, hanging out.
Rebecca notices the candles and shovel. Then it dawns on her.
Holy shit. You're a Satanist? Cool.
What? Oh, well, yeah. Well, kinda, yeah. You could say that.
Are you stealing a body?
I'm just gonna borrow it.
She looks at him cockeyed, then freezes.
Oh shit. It's my dad.
A police cruiser pulls into the cemetery.
Somebody must have called about the noise. Quick, grab her stuff.
Scratch scrambles to grab his gear and follows Rebecca. Exterior, cemetery, mausoleum. Scratch and Rebecca duck behind a mausoleum, narrowly avoiding a searchlight.
Why are we running?
You're in a cemetery with a shovel and a sack full of candles.
So?
It looks bad.
Scratch moves forward, but Rebecca quickly pulls him back. The searchlight swings and stops just inches away. The searchlight moves on and they make a dash for the exit. Exterior, Rebecca's house, porch, moments later. The searchlight continues to scan in the distance as Scratch and Rebecca run up the front steps and into the house. Interior, Rebecca's house, continuous. Rebecca closes the door and glances through the peephole.
I don't see why we had to run. Your dad can't do anything.
To you, maybe. I saw how he was after talking to you. Like, he'd seen a ghost. As overprotective and annoying as he can be, I don't like seeing him like that. He's still my dad. You want something to drink? Tea or...
Scratch notices the liquor cabinet.
How about something stronger?
Dad checks the levels. If I water them down anymore, he's bound to notice.
Scratch opens a bottle of whiskey and smells it before taking a pull. He immediately spits it out. It's horrible.
I'll take the tea. Lots of sugar.
Scratch casually explores the living room. He stops at a table of photographs. The photos show a happy family, father, mother, and daughter. The daughter is Rebecca, but she looks completely different, a smiling, bubbly teenager. He picks up a photo of them at a football game. Both parents wear Cedar Rapids Goats jerseys and helmets with large fake horns. Rebecca wears a brightly colored UCLA sweatshirt. The teapot whistles. A moment later, Rebecca appears with tea.
My God, I look horrible in that.
No, you don't. You look happy.
That's my mom. She died 2 years ago.
She hands Scratch the tea and takes the photo.
She was cool. Really cool.
What happened?
Home invasion? The irony, right? A cop's family. I was at a friend's. Dad was working late as usual. They got in through a doggy door. We didn't even have a dog. It was from the old owners. Dad kept it though. He always wanted a dog. He figured, why change it just to change it back? He still blames himself. I don't though. I did. I know that hurt him. Ever since then, there's been distance, you know?
Did they ever find the person who did it?
Yeah. Thomas Latimer.
Scratch looks subtly surprised. He didn't know this side of the story. He stares again at the happy family photo.
Sounds familiar.
It was in all the papers. They found his body in a riverbed, eaten to a pulp. After that, Dad didn't want to stay in the same house or the same town. Left all my friends.
She gives a regretful scowl and replaces the photo.
You know what? I think I will have something stronger.
Scratch offers the bottle. She takes a swig and promptly spits it out.
Ugh, I wasn't fooling anybody.
Scratch shakes his head and places it back in the cabinet.
I tried to talk to her, you know. My mom, I have a Ouija board and everything. Doesn't work though.
Yeah, those are more for talking to evil. Wait. Where is it?
Upstairs?
Grab it.
Interior, Rebecca's house, kitchen, moments later. Scratch and Rebecca sit at the kitchen table, surrounded by candles. Rebecca has her hands on the Ouija board.
You need to put your hands on it.
I know how to use a Ouija board. I just can't touch it, okay?
Why exactly?
Scratch throws his leg up on the table, exposing the anklet.
You're under house arrest?
Kinda. I just can't do anything evil or else it goes off. But you can.
I don't follow.
Just summon.
Rebecca shrugs. She places her hand on the planchette and looks to a nervous and excited Scratch.
Call upon the demons of the underworld. But make it sound like it's your idea. You know, like it's coming from you. I'm not here.
Rebecca is skeptical.
Okay. I call upon the demons of the underworld.
Interior, corporate office building, break room. Carl vapes as he holds court with a few employees.
So I says, no problem, OJ. We got a place all picked up for you.
Employees laugh. Carl grabs a coffee and heads for the door.
True story.
Carl leaves. The employees continue laughing.
What an asshole.
Hallway. Carl struts towards his office, finger gunning people as he passes. He sees Lilith coming the opposite direction.
Lil, when we gonna knock it out, girl?
You're disgusting.
Tease.
Carl types in the code to his office door. 6969 ###. Carl's office. Photos of Carl with evil celebrities hang on the wall next to a large summoning tube used to teleport demons topside. A computer chimes announcing an incoming chat. Carl sits and clicks open the chat window. It reads, "Customer, like call upon the spirits of the underworld." Carl sips his coffee before typing back. Interior, Rebecca's house, kitchen. The planchette starts to move.
It's starting to move. I swear I'm not doing it.
Duh. What's it saying?
Rebecca waits for the planchette to stop.
Hello? How can I help you? That seems pretty polite.
Scratch looks down at the anklet. Yellow. No movement.
That depends.
Interior, corporate office building, Carl's office. On Carl's screen appears the words, "Customer, who am I speaking with?" Carl types as he speaks.
You are speaking with Carl.
He hits enter and waits patiently. Another chime. Chat terminated. Interior, Rebecca's house, kitchen. Scratch nervously paces back and forth. The kitchen table is overturned. Rebecca sits in shock.
What the shit?
That was Carl. We don't want to speak with Carl.
So you throw my table?
He's a dick!
You want to tell me what's going on?
Scratch debates and then decides.
Okay. I feel like I can trust you, so here goes. I'm the devil.
What?
The devil, Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, or I used to be until I got fired.
Rebecca's not sure how to take in this information.
Anyway, when I left, I stole a sacred key that has the ability to trigger the apocalypse, got blackout drunk, and apparently went to heaven to trade it in for protection. I think.
Makes perfect sense.
They then hid me, here, until I hand the key over. Only now I don't want to because heaven is supposed to be like this place, only nicer, and this place sucks. So, you see my dilemma?
Rebecca nods.
I want my old job back.
Your old job as Satan?
Uh-huh. Because the new Satan, she's not a nice person.
Rebecca stifles a laugh.
The new Satan is a woman.
You find that fun?
No, it's very progressive is all.
Progressive? Since the dawn of man, over 82% of Satans have been women. You're better suited for it.
I'm not sure if I should be offended.
Don't be, it's a compliment. You're highly emotional and extremely vindictive.
Now I'm offended.
But so are men. We just never get the credit we deserve.
You want me to make you a hashtag?
I was good at it. It was fun. Not like this place.
A smile slowly forms on Rebecca's face.
You're nuts. You know that, right? Wait, are you off your meds? Do I need to take you to a hospital?
Rebecca realizes that he's dead serious.
What I need is a targeted approach.
The words hang in the air as Rebecca contemplates.
Why not? You're the most fun I've had in a while. I know a place.
Exterior, Madame Rothko's, night. A bright neon sign announces Madame Rothko's Palm Reading and Chicken and Waffles open 24 hours. Interior, Madame Rothko's. Scarves, candles, and spiritual knickknacks adorn every surface, giving it the appearance of an old-school gypsy caravan. Scratch and Rebecca sit at a small table looking across a crystal ball at Madame Rothko, 65, a Russian troll of a woman with a thick accent and loud jewelry.
Madame Rothko sees you have traveled long distance. Very curious. You need answers, but first I need your credit or debit card. Or you can Venmo.
Scratch nods to Rebecca. She shakes her head and hands Madame Rothko her debit card.
Ah, very good.
Madame Rothko slides it 3 times before it registers.
Can I interest you in some chicken and waffles? Free with reading.
Maybe after.
Very well. What is it you seek?
Right. I would like to speak with the spirit Megoth.
Scratch nods. Madame Rothko centers herself.
Madame Rothko, speaker of spirits, guardian of the ancient ones, spiritualist, union member 3621888. Humbly request to speak with Megoth.
Madame Rothko starts to hum. As the humming intensifies, she begins to shake. Her eyes roll back in her head. Interior, corporate office building, basement. Megoth sits at a small, dingy desk. On it are a phone and a black and white television. Behind him are OSHA guidelines and a sign that reads, Days Without an Accident, 0. The phone rings.
Maintenance, this is Megoth. How?
Interior, Madame Rothko's, same. Madame Rothko sits still, her eyes glazed over white. Her voice is deeper and demonic sounding.
May I help you?
Rebecca stares in disbelief.
Megoth?
He looks down at the anklet. It moves from green to yellow.
Megoth, it's Scratch. Don't hang up.
Scratch!
Intercut, basement, Madame Rothko's. Megoth looks around nervously and cups the receiver.
You okay? You coming back? You gotta come back. She's got me scrubbing floors in the 7th circle. You know how much centaurs shit in a day?
The ankle beeps, now a brighter yellow and moving upward.
Megoth, I don't care. I need a favor.
Anything.
On the TV, a demon news anchor reports for Hell News Network. Underneath him is the chyron, Satan's search continues.
I need to know who on the board voted for me. They're the only one who can convince the others to reinstate me.
On the TV, a photo of Scratch with the caption, Have you seen this man? Call 1-800-666-6666.
I knew it. You are coming back.
Megoth, Madame Rothko does a quick celebratory dance.
Megoth!
It was Lilith.
Get her on the phone.
Scratch your ankle.
The anklet beeps faster and turns orange. Behind Megoth, Mara appears in workout gear listening to earbuds. Her shirt reads, In hell, it's always leg day.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Megoth notices Mara and abruptly changes his tone.
Boss, I didn't see you there.
Mara removes the buds. She's listening to screams of torment.
Who are you talking to? Oh, nobody. Somebody looking for the help desk.
The anklet is bordering dangerously on red.
I try the employee directory. Okay, you go to hell too, sir.
Megoth hangs up, severing the connection to Madame Rothko. Madame Rothko bows her head. The anklet returns to green.
So, I've just been asking around. I'm planning a little end of the world thing, and I need a surrogate womb for the Antichrist. Know anybody? Has to be human and a virgin.
And a virgin. Jeez, not much of that around here. You could try Utah.
Keep your ear to the ground. I need everything in place for when we bring in Scratch.
Mara eyeballs him suspiciously. Megoth tenses up.
And turn the thermostat up, will you?
Megoth nods.
Now!
Megoth leaps up, fumbling with a large ring of keys. He quickly unlocks a door marked furnace. Interior, furnace room. Megoth runs to a thermostat. It's currently set at 11,000 degrees. He turns it all the way up.
I want to hear people screaming in agony, Megoth. Otherwise...
Mara pops her head in just as agonizing screams fill the air.
What's the point?
Exterior, Madame Rothko's. Dawn. Continuous. Madame Rothko pushes Scratch and Rebecca out into the street.
Stay the hell away from me.
But our chicken and what?
The door slams shut.
Waffles.
Rebecca stares at Scratch.
What? I was hungry.
You're fucking Satan?
I told you.
I thought you were kidding.
Why would I kid around about that?
I'm out of here.
Rebecca storms off.
Wait, I still need your help.
Scratch catches up to her.
I thought we were friends.
That was before I knew you were the devil.
Ex-devil. And in all fairness, I was honest with you about that. That's new for me. But if you don't want to help me, that's cool. Maybe this is why you don't have any friends.
You dick.
No. I didn't mean that. No, stop. Reset. That was the old me talking. Manipulative me. The new me, honest me, friend me, just really, really wants to go home. Will you help me?
Rebecca is on the fence. She can empathize.
You know, this is where you're supposed to say please. It humbles you, shows you value my effort.
Please.
Okay, but I'm not signing anything in blood. What do we need to do?
Find an employee directory.
Of hell? Where do we find that?
Where else? Amazon.
Exterior, church, day. A chapel with attached school grounds. A sign reads, "You down with JHC? Yeah, you know me. Mass, midnight to 6 a.m.
Why are we going to a church again?
We're not going to the church. We're going to the library.
Interior, church library, day. High above bookshelves, stained glass windows depict the Stations of the Cross.
The church offered up the space when the old library burned down.
Rebecca marvels at the architecture.
Pretty cool, huh?
Not quite the words I would use.
Scratch scowls at a picture of Jesus.
Goody two shoes.
Besides, it's the only place that has free internet.
Why can't we use yours?
My dad monitors mine. Me expressing myself freaks him out enough already. If he thought I was worshipping the devil, he'd have a heart attack. No offense.
None taken. Worship, huh? We at that stage of our relationship now?
Rebecca smiles and gives him a playful push. Interior, church library, computer terminals. Rebecca sits at a computer. Scratch stands behind her.
What's the directory called?
Scratch leans over Rebecca and types it in.
The Grimorium Putridum. It tells us how to summon specific demons.
The item pops up complete with images and reviews.
What do you know? Available for download.
She whistles.
$15 million?
Let me see your phone.
Rebecca hands her phone to Scratch, who fires off a text.
Bezos owes me a favor.
Rebecca's phone beeps. Scratch looks at it and hands it off.
Type that in. I gotta step outside. This place is making my crotch itch.
Charming. I'll finish up.
Scratch leaves as Rebecca pulls out a Kindle and makes a few swipes. She's just finished downloading when, slam! A hand comes down hard on her backpack. It's Brand. Rebecca jumps.
Not so cool now that you don't have your friend here to protect you.
Look, Brant,
Do you know what it's like to be humiliated like that?
Brant moves in closer, more menacing.
Do you?
He lunges at her, but only makes her flinch. He backs her up against a bookshelf. She's scared to death.
One of these days, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you so good.
He leans in close, only inches away from her lips.
I can't wait.
Rebecca knees him in the balls. As he keels over, she shoves him backwards over a set of revolving book racks. Brant picks himself up and charges at her, but stops cold when a familiar hand grabs him by the back of the neck.
Remember me?
Brant's face turns pale. He slowly turns and stares directly into the eyes of Scratch. Scratch gives a sly wink. The library erupts with laughter.
Ew, gross!
Brant has wet himself, again. He jerks himself free.
I'm going to get you, bitch. And you too.
He covers himself and flees through the jeering crowd.
You okay?
She's a little banged up, but steady on her feet.
He has a weak bladder.
You get the book?
She holds up the Kindle.
Perfect. Let's go shopping.
Montage, Scratch and Rebecca shopping. Department store, a fashion show buying black robes. Candle shop. They smell dark-colored candles and throw them into a shopping cart. Pet store. They exit with 2 goats and a python. Rebecca pleads with Scratch. He goes back in and comes out with a cute puppy. Rebecca claps. Scratch rolls his eyes. Empty biology classroom. Rebecca removes a human skull from the class skeleton while Scratch stands lookout. Street. Scratch hands Rebecca a knife and bucket. He gestures for her to kill a baby in a stroller and drain its blood. She looks at him with disgust. She has a better idea. Butcher shop. A butcher pours pig's blood into the bucket. Rebecca smiles. Scratch is disappointed. End montage. Exterior. Abandoned barn. Clearing. Night. Scratch and Rebecca wear black robes. Scratch unloads supplies from the pickup truck while Rebecca watches.
So, this demon you're summoning,
Lilith.
Lilith, she's your girlfriend?
That's complicated. I'm not really a one-woman guy. I'm more of a lot of woman at once guy.
Rebecca shakes her head.
And she doesn't mind?
She never used to. But now she's suddenly pissed off for some reason. Sex demons. Go figure.
Sounds like maybe she loves you.
You watch your mouth.
Scratch starts to make a circle with candles.
And now you're tricking her.
Just on coming up here. Jeez. More working, less riding my ass.
Rebecca starts to help.
So she thinks she's coming to get a soul that she can take back to hell?
Sort of. You ever see the movie Glengarry Glen Ross?
She nods.
I gave Kevin Spacey his start.
Don't tell me that.
Well, think of it like sales. Demons do the cold calls, they generate the leads.
Interior, dingy bar, night. A blues guitarist is on stage at a rowdy bar. He ducks as a bottle flies past his head. He throws his guitar in disgust.
Say some wannabe rock star doesn't have the talent to make it. Better yet.
Exterior, Dust Bowl, 1930s, day. A poor farmer in a raging dust storm works his land. He ducks as a goat flies past his head. He throws his plow in disgust.
Some poor farmer, less cliche. He falls in hard times and calls out to God for help.
Interior, Dust Bowl, hovel. The farmer is now praying to a crude shrine.
What most people don't know is that the big guy doesn't work that way. He's not about hand-holding, instant gratification, every snowflake gets a participation award type shit. No. He wants you to find strength in yourself and others. That's kind of his gig.
The farmer stops and looks at the camera.
So when all of the bills and unanswered prayers start piling up...
Bills pour in, rapid fire, from a mail slot on his door. He tries desperately to stop them, but it's no use.
Some people get weak. The weak give up.
The farmer takes out a bottle of whiskey and guzzles it.
That's where a demon comes in.
The front door opens, and a slick salesman, 20s, takes a bow.
The demon talks up how much better he can make things for the farmer. Better crops, better house, better family.
The farmer looks at his family, then to camera, then back to the demon. He's listening.
He just needs to make the decision. It's still all about free will. Demons and the devil can't make you do anything. Our suggestions just sound really good. We promise that every hardship will just disappear.
The demon extends his hand to the farmer. The family pleads with him not to do it. They shake hands.
And when he's on the hook, that's the lead. A Glengarry lead. That lead then gets kicked up to the closer.
Exterior, Dust Bowl hovel, day. Through the dust, a limousine approaches and stops.
The devil himself. Or herself.
Out steps the devil, wearing the iconic mustache and goatee. He produces a piece of parchment. The farmer quickly signs. The dust clears, revealing full crops, a new home, and a brand new family. The farmer smiles, but not wider than the devil.
And that's how a soul becomes damned.
Exterior, abandoned barn, clearing, night. Scratch holds a knife to a goat's neck. Rebecca is horrified.
What?
He notices what he was about to do.
Oh, jeez, what was I thinking? Here, you do it.
No, we're not doing that.
We have to. Some women like flowers, others like severed goat heads. Lilith is the latter.
I have a better idea.
Interior, Rebecca's house, living room, moments later. Rebecca carries her father's Cedar Rapids goat's football helmet with fake horns, the same one from the family photo. Officer Cameron watches Jeopardy on TV with the new puppy.
Hey, Pops. I'm gonna borrow Bert Bleetzen for a bit. That cool?
He's taken aback. He starts to get up.
What? Sure, just bring him back in one piece. Where?
Thanks, Dad. Love you.
She leaves. He sits back down and smiles.
Love you too.
Exterior, Rebecca's house, porch. Brant, wearing a dark hoodie, shakes a can of red spray paint as he approaches. The door opens, sending him diving into nearby bushes. He watches Rebecca leave and follows. Exterior, abandoned barn, clearing, later. The goat helmet is now in the center of a ritualistic circle.
How's that?
Well, let's just hope she's drunk.
He places the python around his neck. Exterior, abandoned barn, roof, same. Brant watches Rebecca light candles as Scratch stretches. Exterior, abandoned barn, clearing, same. Scratch takes a deep breath.
All right. Point of no return.
He pulls out a Kindle and reads. The anklet begins to change colors.
Si illic a tumultu agretinentium in vibirna autem ne tumuritis is ver est istus eclin ad mai regina.
The anklet turns red, emitting a deafening beep. Scratch drops the Kindle and covers his ears. Interior, corporate office building, Lilith's office. Lilith steps into a blinking summoning tube. She scans her thumb and types on a keypad. She is suddenly bathed in red light. She adjusts her bra and begins to rise. Exterior, abandoned barn, clearing. The beep continues. Caseworker appears and clicks a tiny key fob. The beep stops. He is pissed.
Are you kidding me? What did I say?
Don't do anything evil.
Don't do anything evil. And what did you do?
I went and did something evil?
You went and did something evil.
The goat helmet glows red and begins to rise. Underneath it is Lilith, warrior, demon, and princess rolled into one. Caseworker is beside himself. He paces back and forth.
Now you've done it. How am I going to explain this? You even have the key.
Lilith, now fully summoned, looks around confused.
Scratch?
Lilith.
Lilith looks to Caseworker and then Rebecca. Rebecca waves.
What's going on here?
First off, great to see you. You look fantastic. Second, I need your help.
I am so done. I took a chance on you. You're supposed to be my ticket out of this dead-end job.
Caseworker takes off the anklet and walks away.
Have fun getting spit roasted in hell.
Who was that?
Long story.
What do you want, Scratch? You're in a lot of trouble. I could get banished for even talking to you.
I need you to get me reinstated.
Ah! Oh, you're serious. And why would I do that?
Because we have a history.
Of lying, cheating, and abject humiliation?
I thought you liked that about me.
No. I tolerated it because I thought that was something more.
Rebecca approaches sheepishly.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say that was really cool.
Scratch waves her off.
I'm sorry, who is this?
I'm Rebecca. I'm Scratch's friend.
Friend. Making them a little young, are we, Scratch?
It's not like that.
I'm 17. I'm not that young.
Lilith growls. Her eyes glow yellow. Scratch motions for Rebecca to give them space. She reluctantly complies.
You are a pig.
I know that's not a compliment. She really is just a friend.
You don't even know the meaning of the word. I'll say hi to Mara for you.
She bows her head and is bathed in red light. Scratch panics.
Okay, you're right. She's nobody. She doesn't mean anything to me. Look, I need your help. You're the only one that can convince the board to take me back. Please.
On the word please, Lilith stops. The red light fades.
Please. That's new.
Come on. I'm practically begging here.
You are begging.
Well, it's more like a half beg.
The red light returns.
Okay, it's a full beg. What'll it take?
After a beat, the red light fades.
I want a soul. Something I can bring back. I came up here to make my nut.
I'll have one for you tomorrow.
I want her.
She looks over to Rebecca. Scratch's stomach drops.
I want your friend, Rebecca.
Sure you wouldn't like a nice, corrupt priest? Those are always fun.
I want her. Unless that's a problem.
No problem.
Good. Because it's her or no deal. You have 24 hours. After that, I turn you in. I'll be at the Four Seasons.
Lilith leaves. Scratch looks over to Rebecca. She looks friendly and innocent in the candlelight. He sighs and walks over to her.
Well, what did she say?
Scratch smiles big and opens his arms.
She said she would do it.
Rebecca screams and jumps up and down. She hugs Scratch. Scratch hesitantly returns the hug. He is not happy.
Come on, let's celebrate.
As the two leave, Brant climbs down from the roof. He has wet his pants again. He skittishly approaches the abandoned Kindle. He quickly grabs it and runs off into the night. Exterior, Dante's Castle, mini golf, and funplex, night. The hell-themed amusement center is packed and in full swing. Scratch carries a tray of burgers as Rebecca bops around him.
What do you think? It just opened.
It's interesting.
She playfully checks his hip.
Come on, you like it. Admit it. It's a testament to your glory.
They pass a shy, chubby kid handing a rose to a cute blonde girl standing with her group of friends.
Sure. I'll go on a date with you, Johnny, when hell freezes over.
The girls cackle as the chubby kid slinks away.
Is that possible? Hell freezing over?
Oh, yeah. Last time was the 2016 World Series. Busted thermostat.
No way. What happened?
Burned office furniture until the repair guy showed up. Half our staff froze solid. For a brief moment, the improbable becomes probable. But for us, wherever we are, anyone not near an open flame or wearing 150 pairs of long johns has a really bad day.
Even up here?
Even up here.
Scratch stops and stares at a giant, scary devil's head that serves as the first hole. He is unnerved by it.
Pretty evil looking.
Looks nothing like you. You're a lot nicer.
Scratch turns away.
Not really.
He takes a seat at an empty table next to a small bubbling water feature. Rebecca joins him.
You are. You stuck up for me with Brand.
That's only because you were cute.
You did it because you were a big softie.
Shut up.
You like me.
I did it because he's a bully. Bullies have no finesse, no skill. They're mean for mean's sake.
I thought you liked that.
I like hypocrisy, con jobs, hedonism, stuff with class.
Murder?
No way. I was voted in because there was too much of that. World War II, Cuban Missile Crisis. Mankind was about to wipe itself out. We'd have been out of a job. No. I ran on the sex, drugs, and rock and roll ticket.
They voted you in? Like the president?
More like the Pope.
So, were you responsible for crack?
And vanilla ice.
That's fucked up.
I punish bad people. I should be thanked. Besides, I'm not in the job of saving souls. That's someone else's department. I just want to keep enough around to make it interesting.
Is that why you took the key?
I don't know. Maybe. She'd use it first chance she got. I don't think it should ever be used. You use it, eventually no more free will. Where's the fun in that? That's what gives the job meaning.
Is it easy to take a soul?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
You have one in mind? I mean, Lilith's not helping you for free, right?
Scratch is visibly uncomfortable.
No, not for free.
What if they don't want to sign?
Then I'll make them. I have no choice.
Yeah, you do. You could stay here.
Scratch shakes his head. This is starting to hit a nerve.
I'm serious. I know this place sucks, but we can make it bearable.
No, you don't get it. No, if I don't follow through, Lilith is going to tell them where I am, and then I'm fucked. For eternity. Literally.
We can hide. You did it once before. I'll help you.
I can't.
Why not?
Because I don't know who I am up here. I'm not built for this.
Scratch gestures to the two of them.
I'm the devil.
Ex-devil.
Touché. This lands heavy.
I'm bad, Rebecca.
No, you're not.
Scratch hardens. He leans in close. His eyes cold, his voice pointed and angry. Rebecca has never seen him like this.
What do you know? I toss a few nice comments your way, help you with a bully, and all of a sudden I'm Mother Teresa because you have daddy issues?
Rebecca doesn't know if she should run or cry.
Why are you doing this?
Scratch stands. The giant scary devil head looms over his shoulder in the background.
Because I'm evil. Because regardless of what man may think, I'm the apex predator. I hunt the weakness in your souls, and when I find it, I expose it. I twist it and manipulate the fuck out of it until you're begging to come with me. Because if I don't, the furnaces don't stay lit, and then hell does freeze over. There you go. That's the little secret. That's where your souls go.
Scratch throws money down on the table.
For the burger.
Rebecca fights back tears.
I didn't mean to upset you. I just want you to stay. You're my friend.
You should get better friends.
Scratch storms off. Rebecca is stunned. Interior, Brant's room, night. Dirty clothes, bizarre collectibles, and ant farms litter the room. Brant rushes in. He tries to close the door, but his little sister stops him.
Give it back.
I'll give it back when I'm done.
Mom! Brent took my Barbie!
Shut up!
Brant slams the door and locks it. In the center of his room, a pentagram of candles is laid out on the floor. He lights the candles and turns off the lights. He opens up the Kindle and reads.
Step 3. Offer a sacrifice.
Brant places Barbie in the center of the pentagram.
Step 4. Repeat the following. Barbie invenit iamus convivium. Barbie invenit iamus convivium.
A beat. Nothing. Brant feels stupid. He reaches for Barbie. Suddenly, a hand shoots out from the darkness and grabs his wrist. Brant lets out a whimper.
That's mine.
A face emerges from the darkness beyond the candlelight, a vape pen hanging from its lips.
Now, what can I do for you? Brent. Brent. No, just Brent. Very well. Brent, what can I do for you? Sport?
Carl turns on the lights and takes in the room.
You want to be a rock star? Sports hero? I know. Get the popular girl?
Brant is speechless. Carl idly picks up an ant farm.
Popular boy? I want revenge.
Carl smiles and shakes the ant farm.
And now you're speaking my language.
Interior, Scratch's house, study, day. Scratch sips coffee in front of a large whiteboard. On it is written The Damning of Rebecca. Pros, job back, quality orgies, casual Fridays, free Wi-Fi. The cons column is blank. Below that is written The Plan, befriend, corrupt, isolate, betray. Check marks are next to befriend and corrupt. A knock at the front door grabs his attention. Entryway. Scratch sidesteps boxes and booze bottles.
Scratch? It's me, Rebecca.
He freezes and slowly backs up. Exterior, Scratch's house, porch, day. Rebecca wears her work vest and backpack.
Are you there? Hello?
There's a muffled crash from inside, followed by,
Shit.
I heard you. Will you open the door? I don't want to leave things this way.
Interior, Scratch's house, entryway. Scratch presses his forehead against the door, his hand on the knob. He can't bring himself to turn it. Exterior, Scratch's house, porch. Rebecca unzips her backpack and pulls out a small package wrapped in black gift wrap.
You know what? Forget it. Have a great trip. It's been real.
She drops it to the doorstep and leaves. Mystery POV. Watches from behind a car across the street as Rebecca drops the package on the porch and leaves. A moment later, the door opens and Scratch leans out to pick it up. Sunlight bounces off the key hanging around his neck. Exterior, across the street. Same. Carl drops behind a car, pulling Brant with him.
Ow! What was it? What did you see?
Carl's breathing is heavy. He cracks an evil smile.
Promotion. Come on, let's go. We're losing her.
Exterior, Scratch's house. Porch. Scratch stares across the street. Something doesn't feel right. He retreats inside and slowly closes the door. Interior, Scratch's house. Entryway. Scratch unwraps a package. It is a lighter engraved with a pentagram. A note reads, "For when hell freezes over." Study. Scratch approaches the whiteboard. He grabs a pen and in the cons column writes, "Huge asshole." Interior, hardware store, day. Rebecca stands behind the counter, her posture and scowl a warning to stay back. She hands uppity old woman her change.
You really shouldn't wear so much makeup. Suitors will get the wrong idea.
I'll keep that in mind while I'm fucking your granddaughter.
Uppity old woman recoils, clutching her pearls. She quickly leaves, revealing the only other customer in line.
I always knew you were a muffled puck.
What do you want?
Just wanted to stop by and say, no hard feelings. Put her there.
Brant extends his hand. Rebecca is skeptical. She shakes it and immediately pulls back, her hand now covered in red dye.
Ew. Heavy flow day?
You sick little jerk-off?
Rebecca snaps. She leaps over the counter and flails madly at Brant, but he is ready for her and wraps her up. The commotion alerts Sarge, who hurries out from the back.
What in Sam Hill is going on here?
Brant lets her go and backs up, arms outspread.
I was just passing by when I saw her stealing from the register.
What?
I was on my way to tell you when the freak jumped me. It's true. I was a witness.
Carl appears dressed very respectably.
This man was being a good Samaritan. The best Samaritan.
Get out of here.
Rebecca shoves Brant, hard.
Rebecca, enough. Is there any truth to this?
Sarge looks down at the empty register stained with red dye.
Of course not.
Have her turn out her pockets.
Rebecca?
What? Fine, I'll...
She thrusts her hands into her pockets. Her face goes slack. She starts to shake her head as she pulls out a wad of cash.
This isn't mine.
I told you.
I didn't do this, I swear, Sarge.
Sarge can't bring himself to look at her.
Give me your vest and go home.
But...
Don't make this any more difficult.
Yeah, I think you've embarrassed yourself enough already, thief.
Brant and Carl share a secretive smile as Rebecca, fighting back her tears, hands Sarge her vest and races out the door. Interior, Rebecca's house, living room, later. Officer Cameron drinks scotch in his recliner. Rebecca bursts through the door, sobbing, and runs up the stairs.
Bex, you okay? Rebecca?
He runs after her but falls on the landing, spilling his drink. He slowly gets back up and walks the rest of the way. Pre-lab, door knock. Interior, Scratch's house, living room, night. Scratch watches TV, laughing hysterically. There's a loud knocking on the front door.
Hold on, I'm coming. Oh, that's funny shit.
Scratch gets up. On TV, Linda Blair is in The Exorcist, throwing up on Father Karras. Entryway. Scratch approaches the door and looks through the peephole point of view. A very drunk Officer Cameron pounds on the door.
Come on, open the door, you.
Interior, Scratch's house, entryway. Scratch opens the door.
Son of a bitch! Hi there. Good evening. Mind if I come in? I'm about to puke.
Actually,
Officer Cameron barges past him into the entryway.
do.
Officer Cameron belches and takes stock of himself.
Sorry, false alarm. No! Wait. Yep. False alarm. I'm not interrupting, am I?
Well, I was about to masturbate to Fox News.
Good. I mean, okay, that's weird.
What can I do for you?
I was hoping to talk to you about Rebecca. Can I get something to drink? You make me very uncomfortable.
Sure. Let's take this out back.
Good idea.
Exterior, Scratch's house, backyard, night. Officer Cameron stands admiring Scratch's garden. In the center of it is a large apple tree. Scratch emerges from the house with 2 glasses of whiskey. As Officer Cameron turns around, the branches of the apple tree move, revealing the python from earlier.
Here you go, whiskey straight.
Nice garden. Very biblical.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Of that part, at least.
Officer Cameron takes a sip.
Wow. This is a lot better than the stuff in my house.
Scratch smirks. Officer Cameron takes a breath to focus.
Look, it's pretty obvious I don't like you. You're a crude, mean-spirited, manipulative guy.
Thank you.
I'm not finished. You're the last person on earth that I want to hang out with my daughter. But I've noticed a change in her since you two met. She actually smiles now. I forgot how good it feels to see that. She's been hiding behind that makeup and those dark clothes for so long. I can't imagine how hard it is for her trying to figure out who she is with this sadness weighing on her. At 17, that's not fair. And when the only other person in your life who knows your pain exactly like you do, and who should be there to walk through it with you, is so caught up in his own shit that he can't even make you smile. I love her so much, it physically hurts me at times. She's connected with you. You're her friend. Her only friend. If it wasn't for you and that hardware store, she'd be lost.
I don't...
Shut up. Because I just spent the last hour talking down my hysterical daughter. I don't know what happened between you two, but she says you aren't talking. And that you're leaving. You know, she got fired from work today. She punched a kid in the face and allegedly stole a bunch of money. That's a big day. That's not her. She's going to talk to Sarge about getting her job back. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is you leaving without making things right. She hadn't opened up to anybody until you came along, and I will not let you close her down again.
Officer Cameron is now in Scratch's face.
All right, you need to back up.
Officer Cameron keeps pushing Scratch back on his heels.
I don't know how you know what you know about me, but I don't care. You fix this. Friends don't abandon each other. If you break her heart, I will find you, and I will end you.
Officer Cameron pokes his finger into Scratch's chest. Scratch's eyes flash red. With frightening speed, he grabs Officer Cameron by the face and whispers in his ear. Officer Cameron's eyes go wide just before he passes out. Scratch guides him safely into a lounge chair.
Sleep it off, Liam Neeson.
Scratch tosses a blanket over him and goes back inside. Interior, Scratch's house, study, moments later. Scratch walks up to the whiteboard and studies it. He picks up the eraser. He's about to erase the entire board when...
That was touching.
Holy shit.
Lilith approaches and pours on the sultry succubus routine.
You aren't getting cold feet, are you?
No, of course not.
Because if you don't deliver, Mara chews you up, shits you out, puts you back together, chews you up, shits...
I said I wasn't getting cold feet.
You get to spend eternity being Satan's personal colonoscopy.
I get it.
Lilith studies the whiteboard with admiration.
I've always enjoyed watching you break someone's will. You're so good at it.
She grabs a dry erase pen.
So, the friend checked corrupt, I'd say, judging by Daddy's remarks. Which leads us to isolate. She has no friends her age, no present father, and after you leave, no father figure, which leaves only one thing giving her any sense of belonging. May I?
Scratch shrugs. Lilith writes, hardware store.
We can't let her get her job back.
And how do you suggest I do that?
Do what you do best.
Lilith writes, burn it.
You've got 12 hours.
Lilith tosses Scratch the pen as she walks out the door. Interior, Rebecca's house, living room, later. Scratch carries a passed-out Officer Cameron upstairs into Officer Cameron's room and haphazardly tucks him into bed. Scratch then visits Rebecca's room. She's fallen asleep with the light on. Scratch looks her over tenderly. At her desk, he writes a note. I'm sorry. He folds it and places it on her bedside table before turning out the light. As he leaves, Rebecca opens her eyes. Interior, corporate office building, Carl's office. Carl emerges from his summoning tube and dashes out into the hallway, pushing people aside.
Out of my way, suckholes.
Bullpen. Carl slides to a halt. The entire staff is frozen with fear.
What's the matter?
Crash. Sounds of destruction emanate from Mara's office.
That.
Carl adjusts himself, vapes, and approaches Mara's door. He knocks just below the nameplate Satan.
Boss, it's Carl. I have something I think you're going to like.
The door quickly opens and Carl is dragged inside. The door slams behind him. Boss's office. Mara holds Carl up by his collar.
This better be good. I had the second biggest virgin influencer in Sweden all lined up to live stream becoming the baby mama of the Antichrist. But she went and got knocked up. All because you couldn't find Scratch before she dropped her panties at a K-pop concert.
I found Scratch.
What? Why did you... You lead with that! Does he have the key?
Yup. And I think you're going to find this interesting.
Carl opens an app on his cell phone and shows it to Mara.
A dick pic?
No, sorry, that was here.
Carl quickly finds the correct photo and shows Mara. Cell phone picture. Scratch's whiteboard illustrating his plan to use Rebecca. Back to scene. A snarl crosses Mara's face.
So, Scratch is planning to get his job back. We'll just see about... Wait, who is this? Rebecca.
You're going to love this. She's his friend, and she's never,
She's a virgin? You sure?
Carl nods as he vapes.
I had a lot of really uncomfortable conversations with people.
Looks like I won't have to call off the end of the world after all.
Interior, hardware store, early morning. Rebecca walks down a deserted aisle holding her work keys. The store is dark except for a light coming from the back.
Sarge, you here? It's Rebecca. I came to drop off the keys. Hopefully talk.
In back.
Exterior, hardware store, across the street, early morning. Scratch twists a newspaper as he passes a pawn shop. A sign behind him reads, "We buy silver." He stops and stares at the hardware store. He pulls out his lighter and approaches. Interior, hardware store, Sarge's office. A modified broom closet. Sarge sits in a chair reviewing security camera footage as Rebecca enters.
They set you up. The old guy stole from the register while Brant planted money on you. I owe you an apology.
Thank you. I told you.
But the fighting, Rebecca, I won't tolerate it.
I know, I am so sorry.
I know you are, but I can't have that here. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Rebecca nods, fighting back tears. She places the keys down on Sarge's desk and turns to leave.
I know what you are going through. Believe it or not, you remind me of me. That's why I hired you. You have to find another gear other than anger, darling, or else you're gonna burn out. And then anger will be the only gear you got. You're a good, honest person, Rebecca. Don't let the Brants of the world take that away from you. Life is tough, but never let it make you lose sight of the good stuff.
He grabs the keys and tosses them to her.
You do want those, right?
She smiles and throws her arms around him. Ding! The bell above the store's front door interrupts him. Exterior, hardware store. Scratch leaves the store. He stuffs a newspaper and lighter in his pockets just before Rebecca exits.
Scratch? What are you doing here?
Scratch stops and turns to face her.
Rebecca, hi. Just taking one last walk around this stupid, boring town. You?
I was talking to Sarge about some stuff that went down yesterday.
Looks like it went well.
Yeah, it did.
Awkward silence.
I got your note. I saw you write it. I was pretending to be asleep.
You little liar.
She laughs. Her smile turns heartfelt.
I guess you're rubbing off on me. Thanks for helping out my dad.
He loves you a lot, you know. He's just not good at communicating it.
I know.
Another awkward silence.
I should,
You want to come with me to a meeting?
Meeting?
It's kind of a therapy thing. I do it before school most days.
She senses Scratch's hesitation.
Forget about it. You don't have to come.
No, I'll go. I just didn't know that you did that.
You never asked.
She smiles and takes Scratch's hand. Exterior, church morning. A sign reads, "Life is cray-cray. Jesus is the way-way." Bereavement group, 6:30 to 7:30. Bingo, 8 to 4. Interior, church library. Mourners sit in rows of chairs drinking coffee. Rebecca and Scratch take seats in the back as Bobby, a middle-aged man in a cable-knit sweater, fights back tears at the podium.
That's when I knew. I had taken so much Ambien and cocaine and HGH the night before that I had eaten Mr. Grumpy Pants. I had eaten my own hamster for his protein content.
Bobby is a quivering mess. The moderator, a thoughtful-looking woman with a clipboard, approaches and rubs his back.
It's okay. You've suffered a tremendous loss. A loss made all the more tragic because you actually ate him. Who would like to go next?
Bobby takes a seat in the front row.
I'd like to go if it's all right.
Fantastic. Finally someone with real problems.
Rebecca takes to the podium and adjusts the microphone.
Hi, my name is Rebecca. Since my mom died, it's been hard not to look at life as just a cold, uncaring, tremendous waste of time that I never asked for.
Here.
And that forming connections was pointless because most just hurt.
Rebecca makes eye contact with Scratch, who smiles.
But thanks to a very unique person, I learned that it was okay to connect to the world again. That it didn't need to be such an upsetting place. And that connections, no matter how fleeting or painful at times, are actually what make life worth living. That's the good stuff. Thank you, Scratch. I will never forget you.
People clap. Rebecca looks to Scratch, but he's gone. Exterior, city street, moments later. Scratch races down a deserted street. His face betrays his anguish. It's now or never. He pulls out the lighter. Exterior, hardware store, continuous. Scratch stops out of breath. He flicks open the lighter and ignites it. The orange glow reflects in his tears. With each exhale, the emotion inside of him swells. He screams and throws the lighter in the opposite direction. The lighter lands and skids to a halt on the wet cement. In the distance, Scratch sprints towards the horizon. A moment later, a hand reaches down and picks it up. It's Carl. He smiles and hands the lighter to an overly eager Brint. Exterior, Four Seasons, moments later. Scratch runs past the doorman and into the hotel. Interior, Four Seasons, 6th floor. Scratch pounds on the door to room 666.
Lilith, open up, it's Scratch. It's me, Scratch.
He continues to pound louder.
Lilith, open the door. I can't do it. I can't let you take her. She's too good a kid. I don't care what happens to me anymore. You hear me? Take me instead. Lilith! Lilith!
The deadbolt is thrown back and the door opens.
Scratch, how nice to see you.
Exterior, city street, day. Rebecca shuffles down the street, angry. She wipes her eyes. A glow in the distance catches her attention. She breaks into a sprint. Interior, Four Seasons, room 666. Scratch paces back and forth, staring daggers at Lilith, while Mara and 2 burly guards block the exit.
You.
Lilith gives an apologetic shrug.
She had nothing to do with this. In fact, I hold her equally responsible.
But
Silence! You're on thin ice. Now, what to do with darling Rebecca?
Don't you touch her.
I plan on doing much more than that.
Mara glides her fingers along Scratch's chest before ripping off his necklace. She holds it up. The key glows in her eyes.
She'll never fall for your tricks.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she will.
Mara looks out the window. Scratch follows her gaze. In the distance is a raging fire.
No!
Scratch pushes past the guards and out into the hallway. Exterior, hardware store, day. Rebecca stands nearby as the structure smolders. EMTs push past her with a gurney. On it is Sarge. He's hooked up to a non-rebreather mask and barely conscious.
Sarge?
Miss, you need to stand back.
I know him.
Please, we need to get him to the hospital.
Rebecca watches the EMTs load Sarge into an ambulance. Something in the rebel catches her eye. Scratches lighter. She picks it up and takes off running. Exterior, city street, moments later. Scratch sprints through traffic and pedestrians. He slows to a defeated jog and stops in front of exterior, hardware store, continuous. Scratch scans the area. Firefighters are busy cleaning up.
Hey, did any of you see a girl around here? A teenage girl?
Was she dressed like a bat?
Yeah.
She took off that way.
Shit.
Scratch knows exactly where she's going. He starts to run. Exterior, Scratch's house, porch, later. Scratch reaches the front lawn and stops. The front door is wide open. He approaches cautiously. Interior, Scratch's house, entryway. Scratch walks over broken glass and debris into the study. Rebecca sits in front of the whiteboard, her body shaking.
Rebecca?
She spins around, her eyes lock with his.
How could you?
Rebecca stands, pain and rage in every fiber of her body.
You were my friend.
She charges him, swinging wildly. He takes the first few hits before pulling her into a hug. She struggles against him.
I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
She relaxes into the hug, then tenses up and breaks free.
I don't believe you.
You have to believe me. I'd never betray you.
What are you talking about? You have it written on the board. I saw you at the store. I found your lighter.
She throws the lighter at Scratch's feet.
No, it wasn't me. I swear.
Was this part of your plan the whole time? To play me? To just pretend to be my friend?
You are my friend.
Liar!
Rebecca backs away defeated. Her tears return. Scratch reaches out for her, but she recoils.
Leave. Leave me alone.
Rebecca.
Leave me alone!
The crunch of glass announces Mara, Lilith, Carl, and Brandt. Rebecca slumps to the floor.
My turn.
Mara approaches slowly and gently places her hand on Rebecca's shoulder. She speaks in a soothing, hypnotic tone.
There, sweetheart.
Rebecca stares up into Mara's eyes like a lost puppy. Mara's face morphs into that of Rebecca's mother.
Love and trust is a cruel joke that things so vital are so brittle and easily broken. These things only exist to burden the soul and make us prisoners to the misery of their memories. Such a loving daughter should never have to feel such pain again. Would you like that?
Rebecca has stopped crying,
Rebecca, don't.
but Rebecca isn't listening. She's entranced.
Yes.
Mara motions to Carl, who offers parchment and a quilled pen.
All you have to do is sign, and every unpleasant thought, memory, and moment will disappear forever, including him.
Rebecca wipes away her tears and signs.
Now sleep. We've got a big day tomorrow.
Rebecca falls asleep. Mara snaps back to her evil self again.
Still got it. As for you, I should swallow you whole and digest you for eternity. But lucky for you, I'm milquetoast intolerant.
Good one, boss.
No, I have something special in mind for you. A place that'll needle at your excessive pride day after day after day.
She laughs maniacally. Carl sees the lighter on the floor and pockets it.
A little souvenir.
Scratch starts to disappear.
Don't do this.
The last image Scratch sees before he fades away is that of a defenseless Rebecca being thrown over Carl's shoulder. Interior, corporate office building, basement. Scratch slowly materializes wearing a bright red jumpsuit. He looks around confused.
Boss?
Scratch turns to see Megoth with a respirator on his forehead, holding a shovel and pulling a wagon marked Centaur Turds. Scratch looks down at his name tag. It reads janitor.
No!
Exterior, Gothic Theater, Marquee, Day. Black plastic block letters read no. A hand slides an N and an E into place. Exterior, Gothic Theater, Day. A handyman finishes the marquee. Tonight, end of the world as we know it. No one admitted without an invitation. Interior, Gothic Theater, house floor. An ornate and mystical-looking music venue. Roadies place folding chairs, focus lights, and set up speakers. Mara walks alongside a garishly dressed event planner. Flourish, 42, male, and every bit as fabulous as the name suggests. He holds a tablet as he paints the picture.
Over here we'll have the bubbling river of blood and molten lava cascading down through the Book of Revelations, then out towards the spinach artichoke dip.
You sure this isn't too elaborate?
Please, you only destroy the world once, if you're lucky. Then after Bill Cosby performs, there'll be a break for dessert.
Lilith runs up to Mara holding a dry cleaning bag.
Sorry I'm late. It was hard finding a decent dry cleaner since you mind-zapped everyone in town.
Series of shots, people around town in catatonic state. A walking woman gets her dress stuck on a thorn bush. She continues to walk until she rips right out of her clothes. The red-headed girl holds a melted ice cream cone and weaves slowly, oblivious to the dog licking her face. A man on a bike coasts headlong into a parked car. A terrified yet alert, soot-covered Brant jumps from up behind the hood and scurries off towards the Gothic Theater. Back to scene. Mara takes the bag and hands it to a short minion.
Anything else? Your dark overlord?
You know, I've been thinking about how to repay you for being so loyal the past few days.
Honestly, there's no need.
I know there's no need. That's because you haven't been loyal. I was being sarcastic. I was going to make a sinister joke before banishing you to the ninth circle of hell for treachery, but you ruined it.
But...
Nope, you ruined it. Revoke her demon status and see that she gets processed.
The minion grabs Lilith and walks away, still holding the bag.
Can Mephistopheles get a cocktail, please?
Interior, ninth circle of hell. Pitch black. The echo of a bucket being wheeled down a hallway. A door opens, revealing the silhouette of Scratch with a mop bucket. He flips on a light switch.
Turn that off!
We've only been in the dark about 1,000 years.
Sorry, my bad.
Scratch quickly turns off the light.
Wait, is that Scratch?
Scratch pins the door open. The light from the hall reveals a lake of ice with 3 prisoners submerged up to their necks.
It is Scratch. How's it hanging, bud?
Why the long face? You got demoted?
They all laugh.
Actually, I did.
The laughter abruptly stops. Scratch starts mopping.
Sorry, I was just kidding.
That's all right. I've been thinking I may actually deserve this.
Come on, don't be so hard on yourself.
No, I do, I just hurt a friend. I feel like a real jerk.
It'll pass. You'll be back to your backstabbing, self-serving self in no time.
Oh, that's sweet.
Scratch finishes mopping.
You guys good? Can I get you anything?
How about a blanket?
The prisoners laugh.
Or a space heater?
More laughter.
All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See ya, Scratch.
Scratch starts to close the door when he hears a faint voice.
Scratch. Scratch.
He quickly turns on a flashlight and scans the darkness until the beam falls on a nearly submerged.
Lilith,
He runs to her.
Scratch.
what are you doing here?
My punishment for helping you.
Helping? That's what you call trying to make me turn over my friend's soul?
I should have done that. I just saw how you looked at her. You never looked at me that way, and
I never looked at you that way because you were never my friend.
Excuse me?
I didn't even know what a friend was until just a few hours ago. I mean, what it really was. And now that I do, you're much more than a friend.
I'm sorry I took away someone you cared about.
And I'm sorry I marginalized our relationship and made you feel jealous. I shouldn't have started that orgy without you.
You mean that?
I do. I love you, Lilith.
I love you, Scratch.
Kiss her already!
They kiss.
I'd clap if I could move my hands.
Get me out of here. We have to go save your friend.
Why? She hates me. Besides, she already signed. It's too late.
It's never too late to show someone you care about them. Now move. Mara's got something awful planned.
Animation, 1930s black and white cartoon reel. An animated devil inserts a key into a lock on a wooden box.
Once the key is inserted into the lock and turned, the beast is released.
A beast emerges from the box and walks to a damsel tied to an altar. It jumps on her and starts humping vigorously.
The beast then mounts the vessel and proceeds to make sweet love until completion. The ejaculate of the damned,
One giant sperm with devil horns emerges from the tip of the demon penis and travels up the fallopian tubes.
then makes the long journey up the fallopian tube in an attempt to penetrate the willing ovum.
The sperm approaches an egg that has a pretty smile and great legs. The sperm taps the opposite side of the egg with its tail. When the egg looks the other way, the sperm pulls out a jackhammer and forces its way inside.
Upon fertilization, the Antichrist begins to grow.
A baby devil begins to develop.
Once gestation is complete,
A timer dings.
the demon spawn is ready to emerge.
A smile crosses the baby devil's face. It ties a bib around his neck and pulls out a knife and fork.
But not before eating its host, mother, whole. A growing curator of the apocalypse needs its nutrients.
The baby devil devours its mother, burps, and then giggles. The words, "Next, postnatal care for your little angel of darkness," appear over gray. Interior, corporate office building, basement. Scratch, Lilith, Megoth, and 3 prisoners watch the film strip roll out.
That doesn't look good.
Interior, Gothic theater, stage. Roadies wheel out a large ornate wooden box. It accidentally slips off the dolly and lands with a loud bang.
Careful, you long-haired twats.
Finally, it's here.
Carl beams as Mara and Flourish approach. Mara pushes him out of the way and motions for the others to give her space. She cracks a wicked grin and places her ear to the lid. The key glows around her neck. The box jumps as something inside moves with tremendous force.
Soon, my pet, soon you will be free to release your demon seed and usher forth a new era of evil. With you by my side, we will raise the Antichrist in our image, swaddle him in anger,
Or her.
nurture him with hatred, homeschool.
The box moves violently.
Or not. We can discuss that. Then, when the time is right, we'll unleash him into the world to bring about the end of days. The world will burn and mankind will live in perpetual torment. Together we shall make hell great again.
Can we get the sacred womb and dad on stage, please?
Rebecca, dressed in a Gothic gown, and Officer Cameron, in his dress blues, are wheeled out on dollies. Both are catatonic.
Rehearsal, people!
Carl nods and moves into position next to Rebecca. Interior, corporate office building, basement. Scratch paces while the others look on.
What are we going to do? The ceremony is in an hour.
Megoth hands Scratch an invitation. You are cordially invited to the unholy consummation of the Antichrist. Cocktails to follow, 8 p.m. Scratch stops.
Huddle around.
They huddle around. After a long pause,
Well,
Well, what?
what's the plan?
I don't have one.
the group groans.
I came up with the huddle.
I might have an idea.
No offense, but we can't afford stupid ideas right now.
You're right. Sorry, sir.
Megoth starts to slink away, but stops suddenly.
No, I'm not sorry. I have good ideas, and it's time you realize that. You think this place just runs on your charm and good looks?
Everybody but Scratch is getting uncomfortable.
You wouldn't stand a snowball's chance in here if it weren't for me. I've cleaned up your messes for over 5 decades without a promotion or even so much as a thank you. But I wouldn't change any of it. You saved me. I was neck deep in fetid entrails and gargling hot feces when you hired me.
Visuals?
Yeah, that was a pretty twisted punishment for overdue library books.
Regardless, you gave me something to believe in. The job. We punish evil. That's what we do. We don't spread it. Up there right now, she's trying to spread it. She needs to be stopped. We don't exist to condemn mankind. We're a reminder for mankind to get their shit together. I believe in that. I believe in you. The least you can do is the same. Wow, that felt good.
I bet it did. So what's your plan?
Megoth smiles.
With the exception of Minos in the elevator and a few guards in the lobby, the office is practically empty today on account of the,
Non-consensual lovemaking?
Yeah, that. Lilith, do you still have access to your summoning tube?
No, I've been fired. I'm shut out.
Then we break into an office and hotwire one.
And just how do we do that?
First, we take the stairs.
Interior, corporate office building, 10th floor, hallway. The stairwell door bursts open. The gang, Scratch, Megoth, Lilith, prisoners, spill out onto the floor.
Your plan sucks already.
Interior, corporate office building, bullpen, moments later. The gang sneak towards Carl's office and stop short. Through the office window, Carl is seen in a cloak, talking to himself.
Did I tell you your plan sucks?
Yes, you did. Lilith?
I'm pretty sure she thinks it sucks too.
Lilith nods.
On it.
On it? What, did you two work this out beforehand?
Lilith grabs Scratch and pulls him with her. Interior, Carl's office. Carl paces, practicing a speech from a notepad.
And now a dear, close personal friend of mine, my number 2, my rock, Carl. I walk out, home for applause. Friends, colleagues, fellow minions.
A knock at the door interrupts him.
This had better be good.
Carl opens the door to Lilith, who kisses him, hard.
I'm horny.
You can't, what the, here.
Carl moves in for a kiss, but Scratch quickly butts in.
She's good, isn't she? Hi.
Scratch punches Carl in the face, knocking him out.
I think I'm going to vomit.
Lilith scrapes at her tongue.
Bring him here. We can use his thumb.
The prisoners drag Carl near the summoning tube and use its thumbprint to activate the device. Scratch searches Carl and finds Rebecca's lighter.
This is mine.
He reads the lighter and gets an idea.
Megoth, throw me your keys.
Megoth tosses Scratch his enormous keyring.
Come on, let's go.
I'll be right back. Wear something warm. Grab me a jacket.
Interior, corporate office building, basement. Scratch sprints down the hallway, opens the door marked furnace, and disappears inside. A second later, he reappears. Interior, Carl's office. The gang all now wear long coats. Scratch stumbles through the door and out of breath and is hit with a cloak.
Put that on.
What's this?
Megoth looks to a naked and passed out Carl tied to a chair.
Another part of my stupid plan.
Scratch puts it on. Everyone crams into the summoning tube. Lilith is about to punch numbers into the keypad when Scratch stops her. He shares a look with Megoth.
You sure you both want to do this? If we don't succeed, frozen lakes and hot dookie will be the least of our problems. You've got no skin in this game. I wouldn't blame you if you backed out now.
Lilith and Megoth share a knowing look.
We do have skin in the game. You.
Megoth nods. Scratch smiles.
Good, because I was going to call you pussies if you stayed.
Lilith types into the keypad. Red light engulfs them. Scratch grabs a nearby cup of coffee and pours it onto the controls. The summoning tube shorts out just after the gang disappears. Pre-lap, an audience cheers. Interior, Gothic theater. An illuminated applause sign. Balcony. A dirty Brant watches with a creepy little smile as Hitler and Pol Pot finish a vaudeville routine.
You've been a great audience with the comedy stylings of Pol Pot and Hitler. Enjoy the rest of the show!
Pol Pot bows as Hitler does a Nazi salute and turns it into a cute little wave. Both run. Off stage. Handlers give Hitler and Pol Pot bottles of water and towels. Roadies wheel the box past them. Mara and Flourish follow.
How's the house look?
Packed.
I detected a little meh in your voice.
No meh.
There was definitely a meh.
Okay, bad news, good news. Bad news, it seems all of the employees you invited opted to take the day off instead of attend. Appears you're not really well liked. Good news, they sent gifts. Even gooder news, I used the brainwashed townsfolk as seat fillers.
Mara looks out on a sea of catatonic townsfolk.
Well, the show must go on.
That's the spit.
Mara reaches into Flourish's chest and pulls out his heart.
So tacky.
Scratch appears disguised as Carl. The hood hides his face.
Carl, finally! You need to run lines?
Scratch shakes his head.
Good.
Mara hands the key to Scratch. He grips it tightly.
Remember, after you hand me the key, stand back, because it's going to get lit in this bitch.
Mara shakes her body out. On stage, Mara and Scratch jog out to smoke, lights, and shredding guitar riffs. A roadie hands Mara a microphone. Applause sign. The crowd erupts. As soon as it's turned off, the crowd abruptly quiets.
You know, ever since I was a teenage succubus, I've been in love with evil.
In the crowd, Lilith, Megoth, and the 3 prisoners move silently. Interior, corporate office building, Carl's office. Carl's chair is tipped over and empty. Interior, corporate office building, elevator. Minos stares uncomfortably at the wall while a naked and agitated Carl stands behind him. The elevator dings. Carl runs out into the lobby, past stunned guards and out the doors into the darkness. Interior, Gothic theater, stage. Rebecca and her father are wheeled into position. Stage manager illuminates an ooh sign. The crowd oohs.
In just a few moments, my childhood dream of creating a living hell on earth will finally become a reality.
On cue, dancers appear. Some unstrap Rebecca and lay her on an altar, while others bring out the box and lock it in place. Scratch moves to Officer Cameron and whispers in his ear. No response. Scratch slaps him. Officer Cameron snaps too.
I'm here to help. Just go with it.
Officer Cameron nods and pretends to be catatonic. Dancers form a circle around Rebecca. Scratch enters the circle and kneels down next to her. She's in a trance.
Rebecca, if you can hear me, I'm going to get you out of this.
The dancers pull Scratch away and move him into position.
I promise.
Mara glides her fingers seductively along the box.
And now the key.
She dramatically extends her hand as guitar riffs squeal. Scratch holds aloft the key and slowly walks towards her.
Stop! That man is an imposter.
The crowd swivels to see a naked and irate Carl. Lilith and the gang look on nervously. Brand's eyes light up. Mara removes Scratch's hood and stumbles back. A gasp sign illuminates. The crowd gasps.
Dancers, seize him!
The dancers throw open jazz hands like switchblades and move to surround Scratch.
Lilith, catch!
Scratch throws the key high into the air. Mara's eyes go wide. Lilith's eyes go wide. The entire crowd's eyes go wide. Interior, Gothic theater, house floor. Lilith catches the key. Megoth and the prisoners look to her and then to the crowd of townfolk silent in their seats.
Don't just sit there, grab them!
An attack sign illuminates. The catatonic townsfolk stand up and advance like zombies.
I think we should run.
The gang sprints for the exit, but it's blocked by advancing ushers. They try another exit. Caterers. Then they see it. The Alamo. They make a beeline towards the gift table. Lilith leaps over it as Megoth and the prisoners slide under. Lilith throws gifts at the horde of zombie suburbanites. Officer Cameron runs to the side of Rebecca. He picks her up and carries her off stage. Hitler and Pol Pot trade flattery.
No, you're more evil.
Officer Cameron lays Rebecca down and grabs Hitler's water.
I was drinking that!
Officer Cameron throws the water on her face, waking her up.
Daddy? What's going on?
Officer Cameron hugs her tightly.
Come on, we need help, Scratch.
Who's Scratch?
Officer Cameron directs her attention to Scratch, who is now surrounded. He looks familiar, but she can't quite place him.
He's trying to make it right.
He helps Rebecca to her feet. Interior, Gothic theater, gift table. Megoth holds a gift to his ear and shakes it.
Bread maker.
Lilith grabs it and lets her rip. Megoth continues to feed her gifts like ammo.
We're almost out.
The prisoners appear disheveled and out of breath.
All the other exits are locked.
We're trapped.
Scratch casually appears behind Lilith.
Hey guys, how's it going over here?
Where did you come from?
From up? Well, it's blocked now.
Prisoner number 3 screams as the townfolk pull him into the crowd.
Quick!
Scratch grabs a few stanchions and removes the velvet ropes. He hands the stanchions to Megoth and the prisoners.
Use these. I have an idea.
Scratch grabs a bottle of whiskey from the table, opens it with his teeth, and douses the ropes.
Stand back.
He ignites the ropes with his lighter and swings them above his head. The townfolk move back as Scratch presses forward.
Just like Burning Man.
The ropes hit a champagne waterfall and go out. The townsfolk re-engage. Scratch throws the ropes and runs to the table. The gang pulls the table into a corner and flips it over, creating a barricade. They jump behind it.
I guess this is it.
Just then, a rope from above hits Scratch's face. He looks up.
Hurry! There's a way up here.
Scratch is stunned. Lilith starts climbing the rope.
Is Rebecca with you?
She's right here, Scratch.
Rebecca leans over the railing.
Thank God. Rebecca, I want you to know how truly sorry I am for all of this.
I don't even know who you are.
Scratch swings at the townfolk, knocking them back.
Literally or figuratively?
Both?
Shit.
Scratch weighs his words.
You're my best friend.
This hits Rebecca. She's starting to remember.
I put you in a really horrible position. Like, probably the worst position you could ever possibly be in. I'm really sorry.
The prisoners climb the rope. The barricade breaks.
Go!
I'm not.
I'm right behind you.
Megoth and Scratch climb. Townfolk pull at Scratch's heels.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me, Rebecca. You taught me how to care about something more than myself. I'll never forget you.
The words "I will never forget you" trigger in Rebecca a lightning-fast recall of their relationship, ending with interior, church library, flashback. Rebecca stands at the podium, smiling at Scratch.
I will never forget you.
And flashback. Interior Gothic theater. Scratch smiles as he sees the recognition in Rebecca's eyes. He lets go of the rope and plummets in slow-mo towards the pulsating mob. A fallen angel.
Scratch!
Suddenly, the back doors of the theater burst open.
Hallelujah, bitches!
Caseworker appears dressed in white three-piece suit. The townsfolk immediately stop and separate. Scratch hits the ground with a loud thud.
Wait, what are you... Ow, that hurt. What are you doing here?
Thought you could use some help?
You hate me.
Hate's a strong word. Vehemently dislike would be more accurate. But your putrid little heart's in the right place. That merits our support.
Thank you.
Just give me the key and it's yours.
Scratch looks to Lilith and Megoth, who nod.
Do it.
Lilith throws the key to Caseworker. He catches it and adopts a formidable fighting stance next to Scratch.
Say goodnight, Mara. You're fucked.
Caseworker looks to Scratch, who gives a sly smile.
What? Oh no, you total idiot!
Caseworker saunters over and hands Mara the key.
The look on your face!
But you're a good guy.
Was a good guy. You made me hate my job so much. I figured, why serve in heaven when I can reign in hell?
May I introduce my close personal friend, my new number 2, my rock.
How could you?
A furious half-naked Carl charges at Mara. She nods and the caseworker quickly dispatches him with a flurry of kicks. Brant rushes to Carl's aid and flashes Mara an evil look.
Ooh, you got the eye, kid. Come see me after. Maybe we can make a deal.
Mara claps. Townsfolk seize the gang from behind.
Rebecca, dear, you're still under contract. On with the show.
Interior Gothic theater, stage later. Dramatic lighting and smoke cover the stage. The gang is tied up with ropes. Dancers hold Rebecca down on the altar. Mara stands at the box. She dramatically raises the key.
Now the moment
Music blares through the speakers and then stops abruptly.
Bad. Sorry about that.
Mara drops the theatrics and shakes her head.
You incompetent... You know what?
She quickly unlocks the box.
Screw it. Have at her.
The stage lights dim. A spotlight shines on the box. The lid flips open with a loud explosion and the spotlight cuts out. Ominous bells chime as a silhouetted horned figure rises from the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the beast of the underworld, Gustav the Pectoral!
Lights come up on a hunky Viking in a fur caplet popping his pecs. Music erupts as he rips off breakaway calfskin pants. Gustav gyrates seductively towards the audience.
So that's what was in the box? A demonic magic mic?
Lilith is in trance. Scratch shakes his head.
Figures.
Gustav works the crowd.
Let's go, ladies. Don't be shy. If you're staring, you should be sharing.
A wave of dollar bills hits the stage. Gustav locks eyes with Rebecca. She sits up and smiles.
Rebecca, fight it! He's not that sexy!
Rebecca is practically drooling. Scratch digs into his back pocket and pulls out his lighter. He struggles to ignite his restraints. The flame catches. Gustav twerks on Rebecca. He turns to kiss her, but she has been replaced by Scratch. The music stops.
Twerk on somebody your own age.
Scratch punches Gustav. He is unfazed. Suddenly, a classic disco anthem fires up and Gustav sets his sights on Scratch. He gyrates and spins, performing impressive leg kicks.
Damn, you are that sexy.
He dances around Scratch, throwing jabs in between strip moves and power slides.
What is this? Strip kata?
Gustav deftly puts Scratch in a chokehold. Scratch can't break free. He looks to Rebecca. His eyes start to close.
Scratch! Finish him!
In a panic, Mara's eyes go wide. She can see her breath. The townsfolk start to stir. Something isn't right.
What's happening?
Rebecca scans the crowd. Lilith and Megoth's breaths are icy. She then notices the chubby kid and the cute blonde girl from minigolf making out.
Hell is freezing over.
Series of shots. Bizarre occurrences. A sports announcer jumps up and down, ecstatic.
And the Browns win the Super Bowl!
B, an entire restaurant of people on their cell phones drop them at once and start talking to one another. C, an airport tarmac marshaller gestures with orange batons. He looks up at the cockpit of an airplane to see a pig wearing sunglasses and a pilot's hat give him a salute. The marshaller, mouth slack, awkwardly salutes back. Back to scene. Cute blonde girl squeezes chubby kid's butt. Rebecca smiles. On stage. Scratch digs into his pocket and pulls out the thermostat. Scratch and Gustav's breast starts to freeze. Music stops. Gustav drops Scratch and staggers back. He screams and rips off his capelet. He begins gyrating wildly as he twirls it above his head, gaining momentum for a final death blow. Scratch tries to crawl away, but he's too weak. Gustav stops twirling. He's about to bring the hammer down, but instead, he falls in the opposite direction. A frozen Gustav hits the stage and shatters into 1,000 pieces. Scratch pulls himself to his feet. He rips Gustav's capelet in half and wraps it around his freezing hands.
Mara!
Interior, Gothic Theater, house floor. Mara runs for the exit but is stopped by Carl and Brandt. Carl shivers wearing Brandt's coat.
Carl, give me your coat!
Carl defiantly blows icy breath in her face. Mara's feet freeze solid.
Kid, I'll make you powerful beyond all comprehension.
Brandt hardly has to think about it. He grabs Carl's coat.
Why, you little...
Carl freezes. Brandt is about to hand Mara his coat when...
Step aside, Brandt.
Rebecca, backlit like an angel, wields a stanchion. Brandt wets himself and runs away. Mara slowly morphs into Rebecca's mother.
Rebecca, please get your dear sweet mother a coat.
You're not my mother. Stay the fuck away from my friends.
Rebecca pushes her with the stanchion. Mara slides across the floor as if on ice skates.
No!
Mara freezes solid just as she slams into the molten lava and spinach artichoke dip. She disappears in a cloud of steam. Applause sign. The crowd, no longer under Mara's control, goes wild. They lift Rebecca onto their shoulders. Stage, moments later. Megoth and Scratch, looking like haphazardly dressed Arctic explorers, walk towards the crowd embracing Rebecca.
Well done, sir.
Couldn't have done it without you and your stupid plan.
They high-five and hug.
So, I guess we'll be back to business as usual then?
Scratch looks around at Rebecca, Lilith, and Officer Cameron.
No, I think I'm going to stick around a bit, boss.
Scratch hands Megoth the thermostat.
It's leverage. Force the board to name you ruler of darkness. You deserve it.
Megoth's flattered but conflicted.
I'd like to stay too, if it's okay.
Hell yeah. And Megoth? Thank you.
Megoth smiles and throws the thermostat over his shoulder. Officer Cameron grabs Scratch and pulls him in for a big hug. Lilith grabs Scratch, kisses him deeply, and then pushes him towards Rebecca, who is surrounded by an exuberant crowd. The crowd parts. Rebecca and Scratch stare at each other.
Best friend, huh? You at that stage of our relationship?
Scratch smiles. Rebecca returns it, practically beaming.
And you said you weren't built for this.
I guess I lied.
They hug. Scratch picks her up off her feet and swings her. Lilith, Megoth, and Officer Cameron join them. The thermostat lays on the ground far from the crowd. A hand picks it up. Pre-lap, footfalls. Interior, corporate office building, basement, later. Dirty tennis shoes walk on an icy floor. Anonymous point of view. Passes shivering employees who bow and mumble. It pushes open the door marked furnace and walks inside. A hand replaces the thermostat and cranks it all the way up. The pilot light ignites the furnace with a loud whoomp. A wicked smile reflects dancing flames. Interior, furnace room, continuous. The mysterious figure turns to address the employees.
Now, where were we?
Ominous bells chime. Fade out. The end.